Hey everyone! One bite of sweet treat, it looks like one night of fun. But the cost behind it, it could mess up your whole life. These are the deep words from a Japanese ex-top official. He said this after facing China's honey trap himself. Of course, China's honey trap doesn't always hit the mark. China sometimes gets it wrong. They once sent handsome guys to Japan's ex-Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. It turned into an international joke. China uses honey traps as weapons. They start honeypot wars around the world. British and American spies reveal China's spy tricks. America even brings back a big Cold War move. They strictly stop Chinese swallows. This invisible war starts the moment a hotel door opens. If you like this topic, please subscribe to my channel. Turn on the bell and pick all. Don't miss future shows. Many Taiwan media quote a video interview. It's with Ono Hirofumi, Japan's ex-advisor at the UN for Economic and Social Council. It shows how China uses honey traps. That day, Ono went back to the hotel in Beijing. It was arranged for him. He swiped the room card. He opened the door. He froze. In the room, a young woman was already sitting there. She was not just pretty. She was too perfect. Her face looked almost exactly like the Japanese actress he liked most in private. Even crazier, she spoke fluent and natural Japanese right away. In that moment, Ono didn't think of romance. He felt a chill. They even know this. Ono said honestly, the scariest part wasn't the temptation. It was feeling seen through. Your likes, your tastes, what you casually chatted about somewhere. Maybe you just mentioned liking a certain actress once. But all these bits get put together into a full file. Then, at the right time, in the right place, they use it. The host heard this and couldn't help but yell, "This is totally custom made." China checked out all his likes and background. Ano nodded. Even if your brain knows, can't be her, your heart might think, what if? And that sweet treat? If you eat it, it's for life. What really made Ano turn and leave was a warning. He remembered when he worked at the UN, his boss privately told him, if you eat the sweet treat China serves, you'll basically be their slave forever. So Ano had to hold back the urge. It wasn't one night of fun. It was an endless chain you can't see. Ano added meaningfully. Now, when I see politicians making policies that favor foreign countries, especially China, I can't help but wonder, did they eat the sweet treat someone prepared? But China's honey trap isn't always a sure hit. In 2022, Modern Weekly reported this tactic totally failed on Japan's ex-Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Isao Mototaka, ex-chairman of Deo Paper, was close friends with Abe. He said Beijing tried many times on Abe, but they kept failing. In the end, the Chinese side even wondered, does this guy not like beautiful women? Until one time, the Chinese decided to try a different way. It ended up with 2 doors and 2 big mistakes. It was a joke. That visit to China, Abe and ex-Prime Minister Junichiro Koizumi went together for events. After, they each went back to rooms arranged by the Chinese. Koizumi opened first. He pushed the door. In the room, a neat line of Chinese beauties stood there. It looked like backstage at a beauty contest. Then Abe, he opened his door. What he saw was a group of tall, handsome, well-smiling young men. Like an idol boy band just finished a meeting. Years later, Abe privately complained to friends with a bitter smile. The Chinese side probably thought I like guys. This mistake later became a dark joke shared privately in political circles. It also proved one thing, when someone never bites, and the other side even guesses wrong on how to tempt you, the one who attacks ends up in trouble. The so-called honey trap isn't just about looks. It's gathering info, mind games, and using human weaknesses in a precise way. The really scary part isn't knocking on the wrong door. It's knowing you'll stop for which door. In this invisible game, the ones who get away are those who know when to stop. They know some sweet treats you can't taste even once. This year, early on, the U.S. State Department gave a never-before order to staff in China. It clearly bans them from dating or having any close ties with Chinese citizens. This ban is for all U.S. people in China. That includes diplomats, families, and contractors with security clearance. It's very strict. If you start a romance or close tie with a Chinese person, you either get a waiver, end the tie, or quit and leave China. The ban covers U.S. missions in mainland China. That includes consulates in Shenyang, Wuhan, the embassy in Beijing, consulates in Shanghai and Guangzhou, and the U.S. consulate in Hong Kong, which is semi-autonomous. But this policy doesn't apply to U.S. staff outside China. This ban sounds like going back in time to the Cold War. After all, in recent decades, such rules almost vanished from open policies. But if we look back in history, it's not a new idea. As early as 1987, the US banned staff in the Soviet Union and China from dating locals or having close ties. This was because the Soviets often used seduction to sneak into the military. After the Cold War, as lines between enemies blurred and risks changed, these strict limits loosened. They were once seen as old leftovers. Now it's back. In a way, it shows one thing: the world didn't suddenly get strict. The threats are back to a stage where old ways are needed. US-China ties have slid from full competition to full alert. With clashes in economy, tech, military, and ideas, spy wars go back to the most basic level: people. China's honey traps are hard to stop. By the time you notice something wrong, it's often too late to turn back. So US spy experts say China still widely uses honey traps for info. In safety training before going to China, US staff get warned over and over: watch out for people who get close to you. Peter Waller, ex-CIA agent, recently told US media in Poland at work a young woman came to him. He spotted it right away as a classic honey trap. Waller said, "We got to the hotel. She naturally went into my room. I looked at her and said, 'No 25-year-old woman wants to be with me for that. You're a spy.' I left her and reported to Polish authorities right away. I told them this Chinese woman using Polish government email is a Chinese spy and what she wanted. In days, she got kicked out." Picture 1. Starts at 20 seconds HTTP YouTube. Comwatch RALSPG MV84 Waller stressed China does big honey traps to build emotional ties with US targets, men or women. They build emotional bonds, not just blackmail. Blackmail is hard now, so they go for feelings and mind stuff. Fox News reports the US has at least hundreds, maybe thousands of Chinese spies inside. They are good at faking identities, speaking fluent English, using social media to get close. Once they succeed, they use photos or videos to threaten "help us or we expose your scandal and ruin you." China's sneaking isn't just America targeted. When we look to Europe, Britain's answer leaves no doubt. This October, Britain's MI5 spy agency rarely warned Parliament members openly. It said Britain is a main target for long-term meddling and spying by Russia, China, Iran, and others. A highly secret file from MI6 in Britain also shows China sends hundreds of beautiful spies. They specially seduce British agents. They try to lure British top officials for info. If it fails, they use bed photos, secret recordings, and videos as sex evidence to blackmail. China spreads a big net of handsome men and beautiful women over Europe and America. But at the same time, China tightens control on its own people. On the mainland, if a civil servant's spouse has foreign citizenship, they get limited promotions. Many diplomats abroad too long get forced back. Military and police can't even go abroad without approval, let alone date foreigners. In recent Chinese spy cases that came out, Fang Fang is the most known and awkward name in US politics. In 2020, US Democrat Congressman Eric Swalwell's ties with Chinese spy Fang Fang got exposed. It hurt his image big time. Fang Fang used social and romantic ties as cover. She sneaked into US local and federal politics. She built a huge info network. It led to a full FBI probe. At first, no one thought Fang Fang was suspicious. She was young, smart, fluent in English with a proper smile. To political friends, she was just another helpful Chinese-American girl interested in public affairs. In 2011, she came to the US as a student. She started showing up often at local politics, fundraisers, campaigns, community meets. She was at almost every one. She quickly built wide ties in Northern California's Democrat circles. In some cases, she built private ties with targets. This deepened trust and reliance. That's what US spy people later called her a classic influence operation, using feelings and social ways to slowly get into power layers. Why did Fang Fang's case shake Washington? Key is who she got close to. The most watched was California Democrat Congressman Swalwell. Per Fox News in 2020, Fang Fang helped his 2014 Congress campaign raise money. She also helped his office hire at least one intern. This step set off FBI alarms. Soon after, Fang Fang left the US. Most think she went back to China. Though FBI didn't charge Swalwell with wrongdoing, the exposure still hit his career. He was on the House Intelligence Committee then. He joined talks on China security. This made the whole thing more touchy. Why is Fang Fang a classic case? Because she didn't do anything wrong on the surface. She didn't steal files, record talks, or trade right there. What she did was put herself in the right spot at the right time with the right people. What alarms the US most about Fang Fang isn't what she did. It's what she proved in free societies. The easiest to sneak into isn't secret rooms, it's people networks. When politics is built on trust, openness, and joining in, the path to the core doesn't need breaking in. It just needs invites all the way. This gives Chinese handsome men and beautiful women spies holes to drill. They roll out global plans. A USX spy official once warned, the real threat isn't spy movie agents. It's those who use friendship, love, school, and money to slowly change free societies. Welcome to leave your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.